Hey, I saw that. Look at me. Do you think I don't notice when you check someone out?
I wasn't, Dom. I swear. Please don't be angry with me.
My name is Domitus, not Dom. You know, one of these days, those wandering eyes of yours are going to get you in real trouble.
Got my eye on ya.
Hello, Petal. What a pretty thing you are.
Oh, hello. Name's Castellus Vitus, military engineer of the Imperial Legion. out of action right now, but don't worry, I'm still in the service. What about you? That's odd. You don't look like an Imperial. Can't be helped, I suppose. These days we've got to accept help wherever we can. Now, I expect you'll have questions about how this place runs. Happy to share what I've learned. What did you want to know? Jarl's got me working on repairs to the Citadel. This place was built to last, but it still needs an engineer's touch every now and then. Door hinges need to be oiled, cracks need to be patched up, and that bloody water pipe in the bathroom is constantly springing a leak. But it's a good idea to make yourself useful around here. No doubt the Jarl will make good use of your skills too, whatever those might be. Ah yes, my workshop. Well, of course, as an engineer through and through, I couldn't resist the urge to dismantle some of this dwarven technology. How complicated can it be, I thought. As it turns out, it's extremely complicated. You see these gleaming dwarven busts in every room? Well, I think I know what they are. They all seem to be connected to the pipes running all over the city and down the front of the Citadel. And I've seen these things before in other ruins, but these are different. Their eyes are glowing with blue light. Have you noticed? But whenever you see one of these things, remember, someone or something is watching everything you do, waiting for you to break the dwarves' law. Yes, well, not completely. A little. I think I understand the pipes that run all over the place. See, they mainly carry water. There's a single pipe on the top floor bringing water from outside the Citadel inside. Water then trickles down from each floor to the lake. But that's not all. It seems the water flowing through these pipes causes these gears to rotate. And when that happens, they somehow create light. The dwarves were brilliant engineers. I doubt I could hold a candle to them. Not that I would need to, with all the lights in this place. Suspicious behavior, you say? Ah, so the Jarl has found a task for you. Keeping tabs on us? Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me, friend. Well, the Citadel's mainly full of good Imperial stock, so you don't have to worry too much about them. But now that you mention it, lately I've been wondering if the Citadel isn't haunted. Every now and then, mostly late at night, I swear I can hear a woman sobbing. I'll be damned if I know where it's coming from, but it's not Gaia next door, so who could it be but a ghost? Gods know a lot have died in here. Right you are.
Hello there, dear. New in town? Oh my, it's very nice of you to take an interest in my life, dear. But you don't need to humor an old woman. Really? Well, you're the first person in the city to say that. Well, let's see. These days I mostly just sweep the streets here, keep them clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness, or so they say. It's not very inspiring, as you can imagine, but the alternative is to wind up like poor Dooley. Oh, you haven't met him yet? Don't worry, I'm sure he'll introduce himself to you sooner or later. He's homeless. He lives in a cave by the lake. I feel sorry for him. I think most of us do. But ever since his brother died, he's been obsessing over some long-lost treasure. The Jarl decided because he can't work, he doesn't deserve to live in a house like the rest of us. So he lives in a tent in a cave of sorts. But don't let him drag you into it. I'm quite sure it's imaginary. A great loss can do terrible things to a person's mind. Well, anyway, that's about all there is about me to tell, I'm afraid. I'm not very interesting. Well, the most important thing in my life is prayer. So let me ask you, have you found room in your heart for Mara, the Mother Goddess? Yes, of course, dear. Don't worry, I get that reaction a lot. Perhaps I'll see you later.
I'm a little busy, but what do you need? Why, you think if you butter me up, I'll start making food for you, too? Forget it. My kitchen's for Citadel residents only. Go make your own food. Well, fine. My story. I'm the Citadel cook. In this life. Not exactly how I thought my life would end up. But it's better than it was on the surface. That. Seems like a long time ago. I had a very easy life for myself in Markarth. Married to a silver merchant. Maybe it was a little too easy. I was bored. A lot. Started looking for something to do. A friend introduced me to skooma. It was fun. For a while. But you know how it goes. I was a living cliche. Lost my husband, my home, my easy life. Then I found myself doing things I'm not proud of. That's when I realized if I couldn't keep myself away from the skooma, I'd have to keep it away from me. So when I found the entrance to this place, I knew what I had to do. Haven't touched the stuff since. Still get the cravings. Sometimes I'd kill for one last bottle. But no point in thinking about it down here. Right. Is that what I think it is? Can I have it? Whatever you want. I could give you food or information. You find out all sorts of secrets being a chef in a place like this. Will that do? Well, there's Marius. He's growing plants in his room that can really only be used for making poisons. Not sure what he's up to, but it's nothing good. Have you met Saphira Indomitus downstairs? Saphira despises that rude bastard. I don't blame her. Not that she'd ever say it to his face. There's barely enough food to feed everyone in the city, but the Jarl insists on double rations. I don't see how he could be eating that much. Oh, gods. I've missed this. So good. Oh, my God, that's good. A little weak, heavy on the nightshade, light on the moon sugar, but it feels like home. Thank you. This'll be our little secret, right? Ooh, now, I'd better finish up in the kitchen before the hallucinations really kick in.
Oh, hello there. I'm a Breton from Hyrak. I've studied history at the Imperial City, which led me to Skyrim in search of Dromer ruins. And now I'm here. Some days I just can't believe my luck. Working with Brawl, researching the richest source of Dromer history and technology I could have imagined. I feel like we're on the brink of some amazing discoveries about the Dwemer. Who knows? Maybe we'll find not all of them have disappeared. I could, but Brawl knows much more than I do. You should be able to find him in his chambers down the city. Now that you mentioned it, I do. I need you to get something for me, and it won't be easy. I've tried everything I can think of, and still nothing. There's a big Nord living down in the city called Rikus. You may have seen him walking around in an immaculate example of dwarven armor. I need that armor. It's the only one like it, and I believe it to be crucial in unlocking the secret of this place. The trouble is, before I could get a good look at it, that brute Rikas claimed it as his own, and has been wearing it ever since. I've tried everything. Appeals to his better nature, flattery, charm, even threats. It's like negotiating with a brick wall. The only thing I haven't tried is violence. And you know how that would end. But I'm convinced there's a way to get it. There has to be. Thank you. If you do manage to get it, you're welcome to keep it. I just need to have a quick look at it, that's all. That's fine. I've got a lot of reading to do if I'm going to know half as much as Brawl one day.
There's a looter coming into the city. I saw a man come down the shaft, but he was armed and he looked like a looter. If he makes it into the city and starts attacking people, he'll break the dwarves' law, and who knows what will happen. You have to stop him. Everybody, go home and lock your doors.
What do you want? Get out of my face, milk drinker. My problem is that I'm the only one around here whose head isn't buried in the sand. That's my problem. I mean, everyone acts like nothing's wrong, but we're one stupid mistake away from being wiped out, like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming, whatever that is. And when it hits, it's every man for himself. You've been warned. I don't know, but did you ever get the feeling these statues are watching us? Like they're waiting for something? I don't like it. What about it? It's not for sale. Nope. This is the only one like it in the whole city. Oh, well in that case, you still can't have it. Let me be clear. The only way you'll get this armor is if you peel it from my corpse.
Is it over? Is it safe? Oh, thank the gods. What a relief. We're so lucky that you arrived in time to stop them. I'll be sure to tell everyone what you've done for us. Thank you so much. If there's ever anything my husband Tabik and I can do to help you, just ask. Oh, there's not much to tell. My husband Tabik runs the clothing store in town. You should stop by. I'm sure you'll leave looking much better. Not that you don't look good now, I mean, it's just, you know, nice clothes are... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm no good at selling anything. I guess that's why they've got me sweeping the floors day in, day out. Well, that, and we weren't invited to be layabouts in the Jarl's Citadel. Did you see anyone working in the Citadel? I'll bet you didn't. They just amuse themselves all day while those of us down here do all the work. And why? Because Habik's a Redguard and I'm a Breton. I bet if we were both Imperial, it'd be a different story. The worst part is we left Solitude to get away from bigoted Nords after our son died. But here the Imperials are even worse. Of course. But if you're interested, you can talk to my husband, Habik, in his shop, Firefly Finery. What would we do? Start a rebellion? No way. Not after the dwarves' warning. You know, the many shall suffer for the sins of the one, and all that. I'd be a fool not to. If you're not convinced, you should go and talk to Brol in his chambers. He knows more about the dwarves than anyone. All right. If I did, Habik and I probably wouldn't be here. But Urin's wife managed to escape a while back. He doesn't like to talk about it, but you might be able to get him to open up, I suppose. Nice to talk to you. See you soon.
The Bandit Slayer. Good to see you. My story? Well, my name is Degland, and I'm a merchant, yeah? But people say to me, Degland, they say. Degland, why are you a merchant? They find it surprising because I'm such an honest and trustworthy person. And sometimes you hear about your merchants who are, you know, dishonest. Well, I say to those people, I'm not like them. My father used to say to me, Degland, you can't be like the others. You be a good boy. And I was, my friend. I was not only just a good boy, I was the best boy. The best boy now, and the best merchant, with the best prices for you. Alright, see you again soon, my friend.
Hello, neighbor. I understand we have you to thank for dispensing with some would-be looters. So, thank you. My story? What a strange question. You presuppose that my life is a simple linear sequence of events which can be summed up in a verbal narrative? Well, that's nonsense, of course. First, most of it was so long ago I barely remember. Second, you would have to assume that the account I give you is biased heavily in my favor, and is therefore quite unreliable. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this mysterious place. Now, do you have any sensible questions, or can I get back to work? Well, why didn't you say so? I researched Dwarven history and technology, and I'm originally from Kragenmoor in Morrowind. Any other questions? Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burnt corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the Dwarves' Law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know. As long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior. That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the Dwarven text we've managed to translate. I must confess, I haven't the faintest idea of how it works. But it seems to be giving us light and allowing us to grow crops, even under the ground. Of course, if it ever stops glowing, for whatever reason, we'll all be in quite a lot of trouble. But don't concern yourself with such dark thoughts. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject? I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind. So I'll humor you. What did you want to ask? For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options. To live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place.
An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else. Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so can have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else. Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it. True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover? Very well. Come back if you think of any questions about something you discover.
Oh, a new person. Well, welcome to our city. Or whatever it is the Jarl tells us to say. I'm Luki. I'm what passes for an alchemist and healer around here. I'll be honest, I don't much care for dealing with people, or healing them, and I wouldn't trust anyone else around here with the responsibility. And I guess somebody's gotta do it, right? Oh, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like my neighbors. I don't like anyone. Stupid, untrustworthy, selfish, ugly creatures we humans are. But you know what? At least down here, people are on their best behavior most of the time, what with the dwarves' law and all. I mean, people are still bastards, but at least they have to be discreet about it. Nobody's openly violent, and nobody's ever stolen anything from me. Ah, yes. Poor Brandis. I've been doing my best to keep the poor fool alive. What of him? He came here with his partner, full of big talk about how Stendar sent them to purge some great evil from beneath the city. Now, none of us know exactly what's down there. But if there is a great evil, then it made the mighty Stendar look like a milk drinker. All I know is nobody with half a brain should go down there. Not without a way to protect themselves from the energy that killed poor Brandis. Yes, what about him? Yes, I suppose. Just go down and check up on him for me, would you? His house is not far from here, down in the inner ring of the city. Just a small selection of potions. Ingredients are in short supply here. Happy to buy yours if you have any. Fine, just walk away. So you're the one who killed all those people. Did it make you feel like a big hero? Have you asked yourself who's gonna clean up all your mess? There isn't one. This place is like a firefly trap. One way in, no way out. Could be worse, though. You could be living in bloody Skyrim. All right. See you soon, neighbor.
You there. Come over here. I'm beyond help. The potions do nothing. And I don't have much time. I just need to tell you something. Stendar, he plants these images in my head. He shows me secrets. Made me come here. Something terrifying. Deep in the earth beneath the city. Powerful. And evil. I went down into the tunnels to destroy it. But the energy... it seeps into your bones. Please. Please, you must find a way to get down there. And finish what I...
I heard you took care of some looters for us. If only there was something I could do to thank you. Let me know if you think of anything. You want to hear about little old me? Aren't you adorable? But wouldn't you rather hear what I know about everyone else around here? Go on. Ask me. Did you know there are tunnels running all the way under the city? Last one to go down there was Brandis, and it sent him to his deathbed. Did you notice the big crack in the floor near the city gate? They say some poor fool fell to his death trying to scale the front of the citadel. Did you know that beautiful palace above the lake is sealed? Brawl says the last person to go in there locked it behind him. I wonder what's in there. There's something creepy about Marius up in the Citadel. Plus, he never comes down to the tavern. And you just can't trust a man who doesn't drink. Have you seen Rygus walking around in that shiny armor of his all paranoid, like those dwarven statues are going to spring to life any minute? Nobody here locks their door, except the Jarl. I hear there's a locked room on the top floor of the Citadel, but nobody's seen what's inside. Only one way out of this city, and that's through the bottom of a mug of moonshine, if you get me. Solve all your problems. At least for a while. But then again, some folks will overdo it. Ulrin, the Dunmer fellow, can't miss him. Hit the drinks pretty hard after his wife, Maisie, disappeared. Just sits there, night after night. Poor guy. Wish I knew what happened to her. Caught lots of people talking, but nobody seems to know anything. Odd. Oh, so soon? Well, you know where to find me, honey. I'm so glad you decided to come see me. What can I do for you, sweet thing? Take a good look. See anything you like? Come. Visit me again anytime you like.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Do you have what?
We can talk, but be quick. Domitus could be back any second. I'm Saphira. I'm from Markarth, from a part called the Warrens. If you've never gone there, don't. Just don't. About a year ago, I met a guy there. Said he was there for business. Nobody has any business being in the Warrens. But he had coin, and when he saw me, I saw a way out. Long story short, I followed him here. The more I think about it, though, I would have been better off in the Warrens with the beggars and skeevers. Guess you haven't met him, huh? Take my advice. Stay as far away from him as you can. If only... Look, whoever dreamt up the Dwarves' Law didn't think it through. Maybe it was meant to protect people, but what it really does is make everybody too afraid to stand up for themselves or challenge people in power. And Domitus knows that. He's next in line as Jarl of this place, so he gets his way by threatening to punish anyone who doesn't do what he wants. He's never physically hit anyone here, but the point is, he doesn't have to. I've seen him make grown men cry. Nords, they don't cry easily. I cry most days. I think about leaving him, but where would I go? He says he'd make sure I wound up living in poverty again, like poor old Dooley. No, interfering will only make things worse. The only way you can help me is to find a way out of this city, or do something about the Dwarves' Law. I don't know if there's a way out or not, but there are places beneath this city nobody has ever explored. If I were you, I'd start with the tunnels. Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Alright, but we never had this chat, okay?
By the 8! I hear you took on a band of marauders by yourself, you buffoon! Next time, come and get me. I'll show 'em what for. Spit it out, then.
Ah, there she is. Such a pretty thing. The best wares for you, my friend. The best wares for you, my friend. Until next time.
Miranda told me you cut down those looters before they breached the city gates. Well done, my friend. Well done. I'm Habik. I live out back with my wife, Miranda. We used to live in solitude, but, we had to leave. Found this place by accident, like most. The Jarl needed someone to mind the store. So I volunteered. Doesn't make any money, of course. Not enough customers. The Jarl says he likes to keep us busy and out of trouble. But of course, he and all his cronies in the Citadel never seem to lift a finger. Our son was working at my stables outside the city. He was alone when he had a visit from some Imperial, a cousin of the High King. This Imperial thought he'd just take one of the horses as a tithe. Guess he didn't think a 12-year-old boy was going to stop him. But Limar wouldn't stand for it. And as the thief rode off, my son managed to shoot an arrow into his shoulder. But I wasn't there at the time. I came back from the market to find my son's body, trampled in the dirt. It was... I can't begin to describe it. I was shattered. I went straight to Torig's court and demanded justice. But I guess that word doesn't mean much to an Imperial. Instead, he seized my stables and told me if I ever set foot in Solitude again, my wife and I would end up the same way as Limar. So we left. Wandered Skyrim for a while, and eventually wound up here. I was hoping this place would be better. I was wrong. All right. Only the finest clothes in town. See you again soon, I hope.
Hey! I hear you dealt with those looters swiftly. Great work. What can I do for you, my friend? Me? I'm Vernon, your friendly grocer and all-around nice guy. You want fresh food? You're in the right place. You want... Wait. Did you hear that? Oh, no. Someone just slid another letter onto my door. Could you... do me a favor and grab that before anyone else sees it. Well, what did it say? Come back soon! Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. It's not as if I'm a vampire or a necromancer or anything. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company. Nothing gets by you, does it? Sorry, I was being a thing. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in Windhelm like I did, you expect a bit of hostility. I saw enough friends attacked and driven away by angry Nords to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself, so I hid who I was for... what was it? 20 years? Living in the barracks with a dozen other guardsmen, watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. And that's when I came clean. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground on the opposite corner of Skyrim, my openness didn't go well among the Nords of Windhelm. But at least down here, I get to be who I am. Or, at least, I thought that was the case. Perhaps I was wrong. No, I don't. I keep my personal affairs to myself, and I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. It wouldn't usually bother me. I have a thick skin, and I can handle myself in a fight better than most. But if these threats keep getting worse, eventually my secret admirer is going to get violent and break the dwarves' laws. What? Really? I didn't expect that, but thanks. It's always a relief to meet someone who's so open-minded. I'm glad you're here. I'd start by working out who uses red ink, or... blood on their letters. Come back and let me know what you find.
you doing here?
I hear you're handy in a fight. Glad you're on our side, love. My story? Oh, not much to tell, love. I just work the land, make sure we've got enough food for everyone. Can't afford to run out here, you know? It's hard work. Probably harder than being Jarl, but I don't mind it. Keeps me active as I'm getting on a bit. And I sleep soundly every night. No, love. I don't think he works hard at all. And I'd say the same to his face if I ever saw him. But he's always hiding up there in his citadel, doing... You know what? I'm not even sure what he does. I know he doesn't keep order. We've got the dwarves' law for that. But live and let live, I say. Long as I have a roof over my head and food on my table, and good neighbors like Gulvar, I can't complain. I'll be seeing you around, love.
Oh, hello there.
You're the one who killed all those bandits, aren't you? Gods, what a nightmare that must have been. What do you want with me? I don't see why I should share it with you. So my wife disappears a couple of weeks ago, and now everybody thinks I know a way out of here. I wish you idiots would just leave me alone. Well, she's not here anymore. That's all I know. How should I know where she went? I woke up one morning and she was just gone. Didn't say goodbye, didn't take anything with her. And now you people won't stop harassing me, judging me, asking me questions like you think I had something to do with it. Well, I didn't, and nobody cares that I've lost my wife. They just love a bit of scandal, or to find out how they can get out of here too. You're all animals. Her. I would never. I love her. And if I'd known she was leaving, I would have gone with her. I honestly don't know anything. I keep going over it in my head. Did someone kill her? Surely that would have broken the dwarves' law. Maybe she went wandering into the underground tunnels, or into the palace, and never found her way out. But why would she leave in the night? Not that it's any of your business, but no, I don't think so. She was loyal, I think. She used to write me love letters. I still have one, somewhere. But even if she'd been seeing someone, she couldn't have kept it a secret in a place this small. Rustacia would have known about it for sure. All right. Please, let me know if you hear anything about Maisie.